Hello and welcome back to 3D Game Heroes. Today we're going to be taking on the Grass Dungeon. Master, the door leading further in is closed. There must be a hidden gimmick somewhere. You mean this? Master has done it again. Wow. You noticed that switch. You inherited so much talent. The orb we're after must be deeper inside. Let's go. Okay, so we're going into this pretty blind. Whoa, we're already under attack. Now, as you can see, the dungeons are very much... They remind me a lot of the remake they did for Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch a few years back. They're kind of... like, the graphics are nice. They've just chosen, like, this voxel art for the characters. But the dungeon itself, you can see the reflection on the floor. They're quite nice. Now, I don't know which way we're going through this, so we're just going to start exploring every room and see what we can find. This does remind me a lot of that remake of Link's Awakening, as well as Tunic came out this year. I see a switch on the other side, but how do we push it? If only we had something that could hit that button. You'd think this giant extendo sword would be able to take care of that. Alright, we got a key. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So we can't progress through this room, but we do have a key to open up a locked door. So let's go figure out where that fits. Now I'm also noticing the enemies that have crowns on them seem to be more powerful enemies. And where they appear, if they appear, and the positions the enemies appear in each room are kind of like heavily based on RNG. Those blocks are blocking the chest. Perhaps we can push the blocks out of the way. Yeah, so like if the enemies are kind of in a bad position, you could just leave the room and re-enter to kind of manipulate the RNG into putting the enemies in a better place to defeat them. Did we mess this up already? Okay, so blocks can be pushed more than once, it seems. It also seems like the blocks that can be pushed have a different pattern on them. Instead of looking like a Lego block with the 4 dots, they kind of have like a cross pattern. Yeah, this game does seem a little RNG based. For anyone who doesn't know, RNG is like the random number generator that kind of determines positions and other things about the enemies. Now, anyone watching will have to let me know, have they played this game? Have they played the remake of Link's Awakening, and what their favorite was? You can't expect a cheap shield to block these magic beams. Uh-oh. You must use your amazing aversion skills to dodge them. Yeah, we're just gonna leave that room. Check it out. There's a switch on the wall. Why don't you try and press it? Yeah, we wouldn't have figured that one out. So my only problem with some of these companions is they ruin the puzzles for you before they even give you a chance to figure it out. Be kind of nice if they at least let us try and figure it out, and if we weren't getting it, then give us a hint. Yeah, so my question's going to be, what's your favorite one of these type of games? Was it a Zelda game? Was it one that was like this where it's kind of cut from the same cloth. We got a boomerang. Now we can strike foes from afar. It can briefly stun as well. Alright, so that should allow us to hit that switch that we couldn't hit earlier, I believe. Hopefully that'll allow us to progress through the dungeon. And we got another key. Okay, I don't know if we need to be up in this corner of the dungeon anymore. Yeah, see, that enemy has a crown, which makes him way more dangerous. Now, our sword is super powerful until the minute we take one hit of damage, and then we're suddenly way weaker, and we take a lot more damage a lot quicker. Which means the minute we get hit, we want to try to get our health back if we can. Otherwise, we're going to be at a big disadvantage. Now, I have to admit, this game has been a kind of a nice break from some of the story-heavy games we've been playing. This one's much more gameplay focused. It does have a story, but it's kind of in the background. It's more about exploring the overworld and fighting our way through these dungeons. Speaking of which, I'm excited for our first boss fight of a dungeon. There's kind of been no clue about what we're going to face at the end of this so far. Other than this is the grass dungeon, but nothing really has been grass themed here. You know, when you go to a fire temple, usually there's fire and fire-based enemies. When you go to a water temple, a lot of the enemies will be water-based and puzzles will be involving water. There's been nothing kind of grass-themed about this at all. Well, we got another key. Now, this game has kind of been on my backlog of things to play for a while. So I decided now was a good time to get it done. Last couple games that I've seen being released just didn't quite interest me. Like they had, at the time of recording, Forspoken just came out. I hear mixed things about that. What else came out? The Callisto Protocol, Evil West, like... Just, I always hear that those games are alright, but they're kinda not worth it. So... I decided rather than jumping into a brand new game that I'd try something I've been meaning to play and just haven't gotten around to. Has anyone else got a big backlog of games they need to play? I've been playing video games forever, but I can never seem to get to all the ones I want to play, so it seemed like a great time to start knocking one off the list. You know, this game always looked amazing, but when it came out, I had a Xbox 360 instead of a PS3, so there are a lot of PS3 games on my to-do list, and now that it's not quite so expensive to get into PS3, I'm trying to play what I can at least. I always find that Nintendo games go way up in value over the years, but you know, a lot of Xbox and PlayStation games stay quite affordable, so once they're not brand new games anymore, it's worth it to try and pick them up and see what they're all about, especially if they look interesting to you. Listen, that switch looks different. Should we push it? Now, if you played Link's Awakening, you can probably guess what that switch does. The floor panel changed. Remember the one like it at the entrance? Yeah, that'll allow us to warp in and out of the boss area from the start of the dungeon, so if we struggle with the boss, we can go out and upgrade our sword, or we can come back with more health or healing items, whatever we need to take on the boss. But what we need right now is a boss key to open that door. So we basically got to figure out which part of the dungeon we haven't been to yet, and that should lead us to our missing key. Also, if we can acquire some health along the way, we do not want to go into the final boss without full health. That would be kind of a bad idea. Seems like every time we get back up to full health, we just get hit again. That room is kind of nasty, to be honest. Seem to be using this boomerang to stun enemies a lot. It's useful for that, at least. Alright, we found the boss key. So now we just need to backtrack our way to that boss room, and we should be able to take on whoever's there waiting for us. Let's see, we gotta go up, right, up. Just trying to figure out our path before we get too lost in here. Now we have the dungeon item, which I believe is the boomerang, and we have the boss key. So I think there's only really one thing left, and that's to take on the final boss of this dungeon and try and get the missing orb, hunt down the missing sage, and see how that's going to help us. Now we've already solved all these puzzles, so we're pretty much just backtracking through here. Trying our best to get through without taking any more damage. Of course. It's okay, once we get back to the boss area, I might save and refill our health before we take on the boss, just to make sure we don't have any problems. Here we go. So I'm going to save and we'll be right back. There we go. Don't know what to expect here, but let's get to it. Love the boss music. Whoa, okay. So I'm guessing we gotta attack the tail. This is quickly turning into some sort of bullet hell shooter. You must have noticed, but it has a weak spot. Obviously it's the tail. Okay, it seems like we gotta wait for the tail to be flashing to attack it. This is craziness right here. Nothing's gonna help us, it doesn't seem like. We're just gonna have to take this thing on with the sword. Usually I'd think the dungeon item's required to fight it, but I guess not. At least it's given us some health as we attack it. This is not the type of game of Snake I like to play. I feel like we're the apple it's trying to eat here. Come on. Nice, we got it. That should upgrade our health by 1 bar. Life up, get. You there. Did you and your fairy friend just defeat that snake? Master's swordplay is remarkable, of course we beat it. But could you be one of the 6 sages, sir? Indeed I am, Sage Indi of the Grass Plains. I was reckless, I was captured by evil, as I protected the orb. But thanks to you two, I'm safe from harm. Well, the king asked us to find the orb, so here we are. My stars, the legacy of the legendary hero. You are his descendant? I see it now in your face. That's right, Sage Indi. Master is destined to save us. Indeed, I sense hope in your eyes. Here, take this orb with you. We got the yellow orb. The orbs contain magic greater than any magic one could find in 2D. The task of we sages is to entrust the magical orbs to the hero. The magic of the yellow orb is yours, bearer of the hero's mark. Got shader magic, parallax. This magic will reveal hidden floor clues and the tabula rasa tablets. Don't know what that is. However, its use is limited by location. Cast it wherever you suspect that greater meaning lies hidden. Hero, go and obtain the rest of the orbs for the peace of our kingdom. The rest of the sages will teach you the magic of their orbs. Thank you, Sage Indi. Make for the forest temple. To the northeast you will find the forest of no return. Through those cursed woods you will find the forest temple. Northwest, thank you again, Sage Indi. Let's go, Master. Good, I'll be counting on you two. Oh, Master, have you noticed the E mark on your equipment menu? You can press this button to equip and remove these items to your reel. Okay, so we can flip between items as long as they're equipped. Try removing items you don't use. Alright, let's save after that, because we are done with the grass dungeon. We're off to the Lost Woods to find the forest temple. That sounds very familiar to me. And this slow speech is killing me, so I'm going to turn the speed up a little bit. We'll see how that does. Maybe I'll get out of breath trying to read along, but for now that should be good. It's a sample. Alright, we gotta get out of this dungeon now. Is there no fast way out of here? I guess we can warp back to the entrance. And we can revive the boss to fight him again. Now I wonder if the keys are dungeon specific or if we can use them in other temples if we have extra. Anyway, I think that's gonna about do it for today's video. So come back and see what happens in our next episode of 3D Game Heroes. Thanks for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And we'll see you next time on more 3D Game Heroes. We'll be heading to the Lost Woods to find the Forest Temple next time. Bye for now.